Hello and welcome to the forecast for December 29th until January 4th, where we are heavy into Capricorn season. We have a super stellium there. We're going to have 4 planets eventually in Capricorn towards the end of the week. And we have a full moon in Cancer. So lots of new energy to play with. And of course, that full moon energy also has many planets that are talking to it. So I'm going to share my screen and let's get into this last part of the year and into the new year. Let me make this big real quick and then we will get started. All right, so beginning with Monday, you will notice that we are deep into Capricorn season now, and Capricorn it's an earth sign, and it is a cardinal sign as well. So kind of putting this all together, Capricorn is very much about long-term planning. It is very strategic in nature. There's a reason why towards the end of the year and into January, a couple weeks into January, where we're in a season of strategic planning. And Capricorn is making sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, that we've gone through all the details of this plan, this vision that we have received in that Sagittarius season. Sagittarius gives the vision, gives us the inspiration, but now we're getting into the nitty gritty with all this Capricorn energy. And we have a couple of other planets along with the sun here. Look, Mars isn't always with Capricorn every year. I mean, it takes 2 years, a little over 2 years for Mars to go all the way around the zodiac. So at this season, we have Mars very close to the sun. We have Venus very close to the sun. And let's talk about these 2 planets. Mars deals with our drive and our ambition and our willpower. It's that like get started energy. And Mars actually does well in Capricorn. It's exalted here. So it has the power to start and it has the power to follow through and complete. And then we have Venus here that essentially like rules our desires and our passions and our pleasure and our joy. It does connect to our joys in life. And when these 2 planets are so close to the sun, do you see that sun here on Monday is 8 degrees? And then the other 2 planets, Mars and Venus, are 2 degrees away from the sun. That means that both of these planets are in combustion. And combustion, when it's within 8 degrees of the sun, it is being overpowered by the sun, all these planets. And so essentially these planets are kind of going through a reset. They're going through a purification process. Because come January, okay, we're talking like January 6th to 10th, all these 2 planets are going to be in Cazimi, which is incredible. So right now, our ambition, our drive, our willpower, our go-getter, like action energy, right? And even, what we want, our pleasure and our desires from Venus, all of that, think of it, is kind of under evaluation right now in Capricorn and combust. There is an internal process right now where we're like, where do I want to put all of my energy? What do I care about now? What do I value? So I think of this time, which, goes hand in hand with winter season. Winter is about going inwards. It's about reflection, and it's about reflecting on our future plans for the wild year of 2026. So there's no rush into anything. So, there's this kind of an interesting mixture that can happen where we're like, I want to figure it out now and I want to or get started now. But then at the same time, I can't seem to get it going. And that's okay. That's normal. Mars is in combustion. But come January 6th to 10th, we're going to be, talking about a different story at that time. Okay, so other things, we have Moon. Moon just entered into Taurus here on Monday, which is another Earth sign. So Earth typically is a lot slower than all of the other elements. And here, Taurus is a lot about pleasure. It's about indulgence. It's about relaxation. So just enjoy this quieter time right now where you are still in dreaming and planning mode. You're still dreaming and planning mode, and you can work hard at that. That's fine. but enjoy the process. I feel like with moon being in Taurus for the next couple of days makes the end of this year where we can just, okay, we can chill like a bull, right? So we can chill, relax, enjoy, have some fun, indulge in some great food, okay, in great company, and just enjoy yourself. So there is this slowing down essentially with these two planets in combustion and all this earth energy. There is a slowness that's in the air for us to just recuperate and indulge and enjoy ourselves. And we can also plan while we're doing this, all cozied up in our couches. Okay, so Tuesday, we have Mercury that is starting to, oh no, it is an exact square to Saturn. So as you can see, there's a red line here. Mercury's at 26 degrees and Saturn's at 26 degrees. Mercury rules our thinking and our mind. And Saturn in a square can bring some delays, some obstacles, some challenges, some self-doubt, some questioning this, questioning that. Look, these two planets, Mars and Venus, are still in combust. I don't expect any of us to have everything fully figured out yet. We're in process. And with Mercury squaring Saturn, Saturn is about, you need to double check. You need to go through and sort and sift through all of the details, through the possible consequences. Like you've got to pay attention. So here's another indicator saying, hey, just make sure you evaluate, recheck, rethink. Like that's what Saturn is doing. It's a refinement process. So try this plan out, try design this, design that, and see how it feels. No one is expecting you. The cosmos is not expecting you to have all of the answers and have it all figured out. So if you have a little bit more self-doubt on this day, or just like not feeling super confident, the square to Saturn can do that to the mind. It can cause us to doubt ourselves a lot. But it passes. It's just going to be around for a few days, but it will get better. Another thing about the moon is that it's getting closer and closer to Uranus, especially towards the later half of the day. Moon will be very close to Uranus, and Uranus can bring sudden insights and surprises as well. So expect maybe news that you weren't planning that kind of throws you off possibly, or it's a really nice surprise. It's a mixed bag. Uranus, it's not necessarily always good or always bad, but it is definitely unexpected, unplanned, and sudden in some way. And the moon is the body, represents the body. It also can influence the mind as well and the emotions. So maybe even like a sudden change in mood towards something, or sudden change in thinking towards something, is often what we see when moon is interacting with Uranus. Okay, so that's our Tuesday. Let's continue on to Wednesday. On Wednesday, moon changes. It goes into Gemini. And here it's a bit more curious, it's playful, it's active, it's wanting to socialize a bit more, and then it's still connecting with Uranus here. So that sudden unexpected surprise or news or change in mood or thinking often happens when moon is so close to Uranus. But here it also has a nice trine to Pluto, and Pluto is quite intense. Between this Uranus and Pluto talking to the moon, I could imagine even like end of Tuesday night, beginning of Wednesday day, that something that was hidden becomes revealed. And that's what Pluto does. And you might handle it quite well, actually, because moon is great in Taurus. It's pretty emotionally stable and calm. And so whatever sudden intense news that comes about, or information or a situation, you're going to be able to handle it quite gracefully, which I appreciate. But this is also very liberating too. There might be a healing that happens internally where some kind of fear that you need to face, you do, and you move through it, and you move through it well. That's going to be one of the benefits of all the moon talking to Uranus and Pluto. All right. So that's our Wednesday. Going on to Thursday, we have Mercury square Neptune. So you see Mercury here at 29 degrees Sagittarius, and then here's Neptune at 29 degrees Pisces. Mercury is still also in square with Saturn. So Mercury is going through some challenges here. And Mercury is the mind, it's our thinking, it impacts our thinking. But not only do we have this Saturn issue that can cause, us to question things and doubt things and not feel super confident in our plans or ideas, but then we have Neptune that brings all this like cloudiness and confusion and fogginess. So look, Mars, Venus still in combustion. We're still working through plans, coming up with ideas, coming up with the intentions for 2026 and am I going to go this direction or am I going to go that direction? But here, like, you're not going to fully be crystal clear. It's just the square to Saturn and Neptune is going to bring a lot of confusion and cloudiness. So don't expect to be like, I got it on January 1st. This is the new year now. So still just, envision and come up, play with ideas, do some, mind mapping here and there. All good. But again, nobody is expecting you to say, I got it on this day. So give yourself some grace, please. And Moon is still in Gemini, and Gemini is, curious in nature. So yeah, just give yourself grace. You're not going to get 2026 figured out on January 1st, and let's just accept that. Now, on Saturday, on Friday, my apologies. Friday does have a big change though. So yeah, Mercury still have these squares, right, to Saturn and Neptune, more so to Neptune and less Saturn. But Mercury changes into Capricorn. And this is where I was talking about like the super stellium, like starting to form. And now we've got 4 planets in Capricorn. So let me know down below, comment below, what area of your chart is Capricorn over? Like what house is it over? Because now that part of your chart is very activated. We're looking to get more clarity around this area of our life. We're looking to see what kind of actions we're going to be taking in this area of our life, right? What do we want out of this area of our life? And coming up with, a map and a plan for it. So look, Mercury in Capricorn, it's more practical, it's more logical, it's more analytical, it's grounded. It's less about, I'm just going to believe and trust and have faith. It's like, okay, what are we doing exactly? Like, what is going to be the best order of actions here? What are the details? I need to know the details. Mercury wants to know the details. Like, how are we going to implement things here? So it's also opposite the moon. It's opposite the moon. So there could be a little bit of conflict between what you feel like doing and what you think you should be doing. That's sometimes we feel this inner conflict about what we want to do, but what we think we should do. Because Mercury in Capricorn is much so about taking care of responsibilities. Your mind might be like, I really need to, clean the dryer vents. Whereas your moon is like, I just want to, go Netflix out right now. That's what I feel like. So there might be a little conflict between, in some indulging in pleasure versus I need to take care of my responsibilities. But Mercury is going to be in Capricorn for some weeks, okay, for a few weeks. So I think that's useful considering that we're trying to plan for 2026. A lot of us, our minds are there, and Mercury in Capricorn just makes it a little bit easier to help us to map it well. So, all right, we've got that going on. On Saturday is our full moon day. So we have a full moon, full illumination, especially in the Cancer area of our lives. This will be very revealing to you, that area of your life. So again, let me know what house is this Cancer over. So we have full moon in Cancer, and there are a lot of other planets that are part of this full moon. We've got Jupiter that is right next to the moon. So there's going to be a conjunction between Jupiter and moon, which is actually really great. Jupiter is happy here. It's going to bring prosperity. It brings opportunities. It brings growth. So this is a very nice addition here to this full moon. And then with this full moon, the sun has Venus and Mars and Mercury all part of this conversation. Look, as I was saying, oops, my bad, I'm going too far back. Here we go, on Saturday. Our desires and our drive and ambition are all going through a reset right now. So you may have some illumination on this day on those matters. You might have just like a little bit more clarity, and Mercury is moving away from this square to Neptune even more. So I would say starting Saturday and definitely by Sunday, you're going to have so much more clarity on all these ideas that have just been ruminating in your mind about your plans for 2026 and beyond. So just know that your energy and your interests, they're changing. Where you want to put your energy, and all your time and attention, what you care about, like those things are changing right now. They're going through, there's like a restructuring happening for all of us internally. So on Sunday, we are going to have the moon change into a whole new sign. It's going to go into Leo, which brings a bit more playful energies and a lot more like adventure and excitement and joy. And so it's going to be more expressive and outward in nature. But as I said, because look, the square is so light, it's so faint to Neptune, you're just going to have so much more clarity, especially after the full moon, of what 2026 is going to be about. And look, come the 6th to the 10th, that time frame, wow. You're going to know a lot by then. So just be patient for next week when we do our forecast at that time. Moon is also opposite Pluto still, and this reveals hidden things, of course, also very healing in nature. Sometimes we are able to overcome certain fears or doubts when we're dealing with a moon opposite Pluto as well. Moon is also trine the Neptune too, and so that is going to give even more imagination, ability to dream, and a more vivid imagination. This might even stimulate some creativity if you're working on a creative project as well. So between what Moon is going through and all this Capricorn energy, I'm feeling more and more confident. But let me tell you, stick around for next week's forecast, because I am so thrilled about all these Cazimis that we're about to experience, and they're going to be electrifying when we're talking about Mars Cazimi and Venus Cazimi, and both of them happening at the same time. I haven't seen anything like this before. So stick around for that. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this forecast. Please make sure to subscribe, and hit that bell so that you're notified every time a new video is up. I help people discover their soul's natural design through astrology. To give an example, I have this client. Before her consultation, she felt very stuck and very unsure how to proceed forward with something. But after the consultation, she felt this light inside of her just reignite. So if you can't see your next steps clearly ahead of you, it's incredibly exhausting, it's draining, it's frustrating, and it makes it very hard to make decisions that are in alignment with your true essence. So in a 75-minute cosmic clarity consultation, I help to reveal these key indicators of your natural talents, your purpose, your advantages, your strengths, and putting that all together, you are going to have way more clarity moving forward. I have about 20 plus years of experience in elemental medicine. So the way that I interpret charts, it's very grounded and it's very practical in nature. So if you are ready to transform a confusion into clarity, go ahead and click the link down below to book your Cosmic Clarity consultation, where you get an in-depth reading all about you and how to move about in the world, as well as the recording that you can access for life.